We're back with another episode. Well, welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of The Face Off
with Fleming and Fowler. I'm Alyssa Fowler.
I'm Monica Fleming, and we're glad you're here.
Listen.
Just got an earache. What the fuck?
Okay, maybe it was oatmeal pie. So you're right. Well, here's the thing. You know, we put out an episode last week, and I kind of didn't calculate that at the time because we literally released it on February 1st, which is the beginning of Black History Month. So, yeah, there you go.
Woo! There are not enough horns.
Yeah.
We love a Black History Month up in here.
Yes, we do. So it is Black History Month. I am currently wearing, I'm representing Target, but it's by a Black designer, and I'm wearing the Malcolm X shirt for those who are watching the video.
And I'm just Black, so I'm always supporting Black History Month.
That is right. So every week in Black History Month, aside from last week,
we're going to do something Black.
Absolutely. We're going to have some special guests coming up next week. We're going to be talking to a couple of different people who are amazing Black people, professionals, licensed, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And you're going to be seeing us showcase as well some Black history gear. I have been wearing my Support Black Colleges shirt that I got from their site, Your Mom's Calling. And do you need to take it?
Yeah. I'm recording the podcast.
Okay, bye.
You didn't even ask her, is everything okay? You're just
She's
like,
fine. If it was really serious, she would have sent a text message.
wow. Okay. Interesting.
Right?
No, you call for important stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do. I mean, I call
Hey
for
Siri,
everything.
text Mama.
You call your mom Mama?
What do you want to say?
Is everything okay? Question mark.
Yes. Check on your mom, please.
No, it's still recording you. Stop. You can't talk when I'm talking.
Oh, sorry. My
Oh my God.
sorry.
Okay, it's sent.
What do you call your mom?
Mommy.
You call your mom mommy?
Mm-hmm.
She's my mama. Hey, mama. This, that.
That's what
that make
my
you
nephew calls my mom Mama.
Oh, really?
He doesn't say grandma. He says Mama.
Cute.
Mm-hmm. Well, he calls my sister Mommy. Yeah.
Y'all are a mom.
He was on FaceTime today. And we were on FaceTime for maybe like an hour and something. And I was like, oh, Jesus, he made me get up at like 10 o'clock. Anyway, so then he's like, Auntie Monica, I'm done talking to you. I was like, that's his way of saying goodbye. And I'm like, well, fine, I don't want to talk to you either. Bye. And he's like, bye. I'm like, press the little red button because he loves to press the red button and hang up on people. Anyway, so yes, Black History Month, all I have to say. It's an amazing month. We're going to be sharing some amazing Black history moments. Black History Month, we celebrate this every day is Black history. Like we're part of, American history.
But in this second and shortest month of the year, we're really
true.
going balls to the walls.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to be sharing some amazing things. Well, speaking of Black history, excuse me, I have been tried more this week than the rest of the year. And I don't understand what's going on in the news.
Ancestors.
I don't know. Something is happening because I just have a philosophy of don't try Black people in Black History Month. Just don't. That's like a cardinal rule and a cardinal sin. Just don't do that. I was tried at work. We'll talk about that later on in the Rehab Corner. But we got to start off with, let's start off with the positive. Rihanna is pregnant.
Woo!
Rihanna is pregnant.
I am pumped.
Yeah.
Oh, this baby is going to be like a sweet, smooth Rastafarian vibe. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking New York vibes with like ganja braids and a cool little Afro beats in the background. The skin is going to be beautiful. Like ASAP texture with Fenty at all times. Glowing to the gods. Probably smoking a blunt when it comes out of the womb.
No.
Yes.
Rihanna is a responsible aunt. Have you ever seen her with her niece?
Marijuana is natural, ma'am.
No, I know, but I'm just saying she's not going to let a baby smoke marijuana.
I'm just saying.
No, definitely not.
I'm so excited for them.
I'm excited for her too. I think people speculated for her so long that she was pregnant, and then when she found my throat is doing something weird today. Sorry, my voice. So I'm drinking tea. Anyway, yeah, I think people have speculated for so long, and then people are just like, well, when are we gonna get that album? Never now. She's about to have babies. So no.
It's gonna be a lullaby album.
Well, I mean, she's giving you clothes, lingerie, makeup, a baby. What more do you people want? Jesus, go listen to the old albums.
Cute little vibey couple. I'm so happy for her.
I mean, I think people need to respect her privacy during this time.
I
can't.
Just
let her be fucking pregnant.
I need more.
This is
content.
This is exactly why celebrities hide their pregnancy, because people won't give them privacy. Just let her be pregnant in private and call it a day.
I mean, she came out with her little belly poking out and her jewels on her tummy.
Well, everybody knew she was pregnant because she kept hiding it.
So
to a
cute.
degree, but yeah, I think they're gonna have I've just prayed that the baby comes out healthy. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So congratulations to not Travis Scott, A$AP Rocky.
Wow.
No, because sometimes they kind of look alike a little bit.
No, they do not.
Have you ever put the side by side with them?
Rakim does not look like.
That's his name? Oh, that's why he calls himself Rocky. Never knew that.
Yeah.
Name one A$AP Rocky song.
I be that pretty motherfucker. What is that song called?
I don't know.
Long Live A$AP. Peso. One Train.
With Drake. No. Give me the loot. No. Okay. Never mind.
I know what you're talking about, but this is so good. Keep
but
going.
it's a song with Drake though.
Yeah. Is
Sicko Mode.
Sicko.
Yeah.
That's Travis Scott.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, it's hard doing this.
See,
with you.
I keep
Is A$AP Rocky
together.
on fucking Problems?
I don't know.
I love that bitch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
I was gonna say I don't know.
Bitches simmer down.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. Come on. He's got classics.
But I'm just saying, I just don't know that. Maybe I do know the song. I just don't know that it's A$AP Rocky.
Maybe that's probably correct.
Well, also in the news too. Well, congratulations to Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. I'm quite sure your baby is going to be beautiful. I pray a speedy, postpartum experience and healthy delivery for you and your baby. And
just to think at one time we were rooting for her and Drake, it grosses me out now.
Who the hell was ever rooting for Rihanna and Drake?
I don't know. I think like as a collective, it was a thing.
She wasn't even rooting for herself and Drake.
I know, but oh man.
Ew. I'm still holding out for her and Chris Brown to get back together. Just saying.
Let me see if you can run that, Christopher.
That's right.
You won't ever be able to, but
you never know. They can get together when they're like 55. Yeah.
Has he ever been? He has never been married.
No.
She's never been married.
Exactly. See what I'm saying?
Holding out.
It could happen.
For a hero.
True love. They're true loves. Anyway.
We're getting canceled for that one.
Probably. Chris Brown is trash. He's
in
not.
Black History Month.
I know. Yeah. But Chris Brown is Black History. Okay. Anyway. So in the news, we got to talk about it because it's a big topic that's been going on, and we're not going to get too deep into it because we don't want to get our podcast canceled. So in the news this week, our beloved queen, Whoopi Goldberg, who's an amazing comedian,
when has she been
actor.
Our beloved queen?
What do they call it? Not a trifecta, but there's something. There's a particular word that they use because she's won a Tony, a Grammy, and an Oscar.
EGOT.
Is it an EGOT?
It's an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Yes. So she's won that. And I mean, just amazing history, right? She hosted the Oscars. She was
in Ghost. She was in Sister Act.
Yes.
That's enough for me.
Pretty much. And she is currently one of the co-hosts of The View on ABC. Well, this week she was in the hot seat because of a comment that she made regarding the Jewish community. And I just want to preface this by saying
we love Jewish people.
Well, obviously, but I think in this life, right, when you say certain things, you cannot, even though your intent was pure, you cannot control how people respond to what you say about a group of people, right? We know that very true and true because as African-American women, we hear things that people of other races, other nationalities and all that kind of stuff say, and we, could be potentially offended by it. So the comment that she actually made was, and I'll play a clip in the in post or whatever, was that they were talking about the Holocaust and she was saying that that the Holocaust was not about race. And when she made the comment, the panel kind of looked like shocked a little bit, like, wait, what? And then Joy Behar was like, well, yeah, wait, no. Like, what do you mean? And so she's like, well, no, the Holocaust was not about race. It was about two white groups of people, essentially at odds.
Literally about white supremacy.
Right. And so she was saying that, but she was saying it wasn't about race more so. And I think maybe she didn't put it in context of like black versus white or Asian or South, you know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. So because she made that comment, of course, everybody on social media was up in a roar about it. And ABC decided to suspend her for 2 weeks. Now, put a pin in that. Also this week, Joe Rogan has come out and people have been going back into his archives like they do everybody else and saying, okay, well, all these N-words that you keep saying on your podcast and whatnot is ridiculous and it's bullshit.
But he's been getting flamed for all the COVID stuff.
Right. He's been getting flamed for a lot of the misinformation that he's been spreading. I know that he was allegedly
he's vaccinated, even though allegedly he's saying that he is not.
I'm quite sure he is, allegedly. But he also, too, was putting out, he was, a big, allegedly an advocator of or telling people to go and take ivermectin, that he said that he took ivermectin allegedly and all this other kind of bullshit. But he came out and some artists have been pulling their music from Spotify because, as you know, Joe Rogan is a huge podcaster, right? He has a big platform. I mean, this man's podcast can go sometimes 2 to 3 hours, and he has millions of views, millions of listeners.
Top streaming podcast.
Yes, exactly. And he brings in Spotify Spotify a lot of money.
Honey.
And so people, have been finding these clips that are still online today, and of going back 12 years of him saying the N-word. So he comes out with this bullshit ass apology talking about, well, I want to apologize. Well, first of all, I just want to say that, people have been putting out clips from 12 years ago that, is a compilation of things that I've said, which is completely taken out of context. That's mistake number one.
Poor apology.
You said the word, and if you're going to apologize, just apologize. It doesn't matter if they made a compilation or not. Just fucking apologize.
Also, if that's the route you're going to go, the last time it was quote unquote like appropriate for white people to say the N-word was like, I don't know, 1900.
It was never appropriate to say that word,
but like in a larger context.
No, it was never accepted to say that word ever.
You're talking about when there was still slavery, that it wasn't socially acceptable to say that word.
No, it was never accepted. It was
commonly socially acceptable for people to say that word in that time.
It was commonly and socially said. It was never acceptable.
You're saying that it wasn't accepted socially at that time, that word.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was accepted socially.
No.
It wasn't ethical or moral or right, but it was accepted socially.
It was accepted socially by the people who utilized it to harm other people. So say that by white people.
It was socially acceptable.
No, it was not.
It was accepted by society at that time.
No, it was not. It was accepted by white people only who used that word to demonize a group of people. That's who it was socially accepted by. It was not accepted by the masses, socially accepted by the masses. Because the people who were affected by that word were not accepting that. Clearly, they had nothing to do with.
They did accept it. They were slaves.
No, they didn't. Just because you're a slave doesn't mean you accept the shit that happens. You have no choice. If you don't have a way out, how do you say that that's for example, your job you hate, right?
I didn't say that.
I'm just saying.
You see, that's alleged.
Okay, let me say this.
And if you're watching this right now and you have anything to do with my job,
parts of your job you dislike.
That's a fair statement. Okay. I will say that.
So does that mean that you're automatically just accepting everything that comes with your job?
Yes.
Okay. We agree to disagree. This is why this is called the Face Off. But anyway, my point about bringing Whoopi Goldberg and what's his name? Joe Rogan up. This is why this episode is called the episode. This is why this show is called the Face Off. Good God Almighty. My words are all over the place. It's the raspberry tea. Anyway. Is because the reason why I brought up Joe Rogan and Whoopi Goldberg is simply because Whoopi Goldberg, to me as an African-American woman, okay, now remember what I just said before. I'm not Jewish, so I don't get to decide who's offended, how you're offended, and how you react to the offense, right? But me as a black woman, I didn't think that she said anything anti-Semitic is the point that I'm basically trying to make. That I didn't think she said anything anti-Semitic. I think she was talking about and putting in context that what is the word? Is it phenotypically?
Yes. Phenotypically is what you look like. Genotypically is what you are.
Yes. So phenotypically,
Jewish people present
as white, right? Even though they may not identify as white.
Like how Italians phenotypically look like white American. Some Italians can look like white American people, but you would identify as Italian.
Exactly. And even just like different nationalities within the black culture, right? So you have Jamaicans, Bahamians, Black Americans, or Africans. We identify
when you check your
as
passport
black.
Over here, you turn black.
Exactly. So I didn't think that she said anything anti-Semitic, but the point is that people can go online and say in public spaces where they have corporate support and say nigga, pork monkey bullshit, and nothing ever, they can just apologize and everybody moves on. But the moment she says something, which again, as a black woman, again, I'm not trying to tell you what to be offended by, but I didn't feel like she said anything anti-Semitic, and all of a sudden now she's suspended. Also too, the owner of ABC is a Jewish man. So
we've said it once, and we've said it 100 times.
Exactly.
The people you cannot offend are the homosexuals and the Jewish people, because they have some backing power.
Yes, they do.
They will get you canceled real quick.
Very true.
Look at the baby. Where's the baby been? Can't tell you.
What did the baby say? Oh, yes. I was like, the baby? But
Exactly. Doesn't even know who he is anymore.
no, I think he more so got canceled for that stuff with Danny Lay than saying stuff about people that
he's going through something over there. I hate The View. I don't watch it at all. And as soon as I see a news post about it, I keep on swiping.
The View back in the day used to be amazing.
Yeah, no, but just with recently, like in the last 5 years, I can't. There's always they're always doing something crazy. When Meghan McCain was on,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When Meghan McCain was on there, she turned a lot of people off.
Too much.
Yeah, and her and Whoopi were going at it all the time.
They were going at it all the time.
I'm like, is this The View or Meghan and Whoopi's View? Like, that's so stupid. But yeah, I just think everybody just needs to just shut up.
What we can't agree on is Joe Rogan's apology was trash.
Oh, trash. And absolutely.
I really did. I don't know why I thought, but I was like, the year 2022 is when everyone decides that once you fuck up, you say sorry and you just try to do better moving forward. That's all I need. I don't need any I don't need you to tell me anything.
Yeah, you don't have to explain yourself.
Don't explain it. Just say you're sorry. You're sorry.
But even too, here's the thing. I would rather for you as a person who uses a derogatory term, don't say sorry. Because you really don't mean it. You're doing it because you're probably getting, pressure from Spotify. Ads are pulling away. Artists are pulling their music from Spotify, and it's making a ripple effect, even though Spotify themselves are not going to cancel you. And that's part of the problem. They should suspend him or take his shit off or whatever the case may be, but they're not going to because they don't give a shit about black people, allegedly. But money does talk. But my thing is, if you felt that way at that particular time, stop coming with these bullshit ass apologies because we don't believe it anyway. You don't believe it, so stop saying it.
It was very much giving my publicist and the company that pays all of my bills are asking for an apology, so here is one for you.
Yeah. You ever seen that video with Michael Jackson where he was doing a clip and they were talking about touring and he was just like, I hate to tour. I really don't like touring. It's a lot. So the guy was like, I get it. You don't like touring, but we just need you to say it for the thing. He's like, okay. So then they cut back to playing and he's like, I love touring. And everybody like busts out laughing because they're just like, bitch, we know you don't like touring. It was the funniest freaking interview. But yeah, it
was just because what he was saying was, well, I thought back then if someone brought that word up and we were using it in context, contextually, I was justified in saying that word. No.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, but here is the point, the biggest point. Oh, Jesus, here's the biggest point.
The tip of his head.
No. None of these celebrities or people in positions of power ever say anything anti-Semitic. What was the last white person that said something anti-Semitic? Exactly. That's my point. No one says anything anti-Semitic, but y'all be quick to say nigga all day long. How? So that means that you know better. And if you know better, why aren't you doing better? Because you don't give a shit. So stop with the fake ass apologies. How about that?
And in Black History Month.
Like what the fuck? Y'all know how to not say anything anti-Semitic or anything, homophobic. Exactly.
Homophobic. That would be the term.
Anti-LGBTQ plus. That was probably more appropriate. But yeah, y'all know how to not say shit about other groups of people. But when it come to black people, y'all like to show y'all ass and then come back and we apologize. For what? You Joe Rogan, I'm looking right at you. Joe Rogan, I know you use that rotor in your house. I know you use it.
Allegedly. And now you live in Texas. Oof.
Child, where was he living before?
California.
Made him move to Texas.
Taxes.
You're a millionaire.
Paying millionaire taxes in California. You know where you're not paying that?
He's probably not even paying taxes for real. I mean, depending on what tax bracket he's in.
I think he made the big move to California during COVID when it got bad over there and Texas was still open and rocking and rolling and didn't give a shit.
And giving out
free
free
like, wow.
But yeah, all I'm saying is the way y'all don't say anything anti-Semitic, stop saying shit about black people. Just stop. Because y'all know better. And you choose not to do better because you don't care. Anyway, what were you telling me about? We were talking about the education system last week, but something else you were telling me today about the kind of collapse or piggybacking off of the collapse of the education
system. New
system.
Mexico, which never has been a pillar for anything academic, I don't think. It's got a lot of issues. Beautiful mountains, though.
You said New Mexico.
New Mexico. Okay. Ever been?
No.
You're not missing anything.
Is it hot there, like Arizona?
No.
Isn't it next door to Arizona? Nope. Yep.
I don't know shit like that.
I don't know either. I was trying to save myself.
It snows there because you can go skiing there.
In New Mexico?
Yes, you go skiing in New Mexico.
But they're not north.
They're norther than us. Anything norther than us gets snow because Texas is huge.
That's very true.
More up north.
More north, yeah.
More north. Due north. Anyway, they are so lacking in substitute teachers that like 80 people from the National Guard were called in to serve as substitute teachers for them.
So no more bus drivers. Did they run out of bus drivers at this point?
They ran out of bus drivers to fill in. Can you like
crazy.
The National Guard is reserved for like, you know,
important shit. War.
Yeah. Like civil unrest.
Exactly. Tyranny.
And they were like, yo, we just don't have fucking teachers. Are you kidding me?
So are any of these National Guardsmen or women qualified to teach children, or are they just glorified babysitters?
Qualified to teach children? I don't know.
A lot of people
I can neither confirm nor deny. But I'm saying maybe if you treated teachers better, I don't know, paid them a living wage or, I don't know, gave shit, we wouldn't have to do that. It's just insane to me that these are the people that are called it like during Black Lives Matter when shit was at its peak and things were crazy. They were like, we may have to call in the National Guard.
Right.
And they're like, yo, we just don't have anyone to watch these kids.
Here's my question for the school board superintendent. Could you not find another group of people? Pastors. Pastors are at home, right? Why can't we bring in pastors? They teach every Sunday and every bluebirds from the hospital.
Old retired people.
Exactly. Retired teachers. Something. I mean,
that tells me that ain't no one want to be a teacher right now. Not a single person.
People are resigning left and right, and it's scary.
You could have gone to the plasma donation center, asked around, and they probably still would have been like, nope.
The plasma donation.
I will give you twice what they're giving you, and you don't even have to give me anything from your body. And they were still like, ooh, a school?
Very true.
Yeah. Nope, not me.
That is insane. The National Guard. Who made that call?
I have no idea.
The National Guard. Wow. The National Guard does not get the respect they deserve.
They're the teachers.
They're the teachers of America. I mean, of the military. I mean, what the fuck? Are they just sitting around doing that's horrible. It's going to collapse. I'm telling you. The education system is going to collapse.
It's feeling like it.
Yeah, it's going to collapse. And I'm just glad that I don't have children right now. So
truly. Do you think you could homeschool your kids?
No, not with the math. I could do everything else, but not math.
And I think I'm sure I could. Yeah. Like I have the ability to. I'm a master's degree. I'm an OT, which means I can pull shit on my ass.
I don't have patience with children.
It's like that for me.
Yeah.
No, I can't do it.
My best friend actually, shouts out to my best friend Larissa. She homeschools her 4-year-old, because he's gonna be 5. Carter. Huh?
That's hard.
Yeah, she homeschools him. He's 4, and her other son, Harlem.
That's a cool name.
I think Harlem is 8. He's about to be 9. Yeah. He's about to be 9. Yeah, he's 8 years old. So when the pandemic happened, she was, they were on virtual learning, and then she was just like, "Y'all ain't learning shit." Her 4-year-old obviously was not going to.
I don't know how people expected 4-year-olds to learn anything.
Sitting at a computer all day, child, please. All he does is follow her around. But yeah, no, my godson, which is Harlem the oldest, he's my godson, but she homeschools him, and she pulled him out of the school system and was like, turn off this goddamn computer. And so she so she got all the supplies that she needed, books and all that kind of stuff, and she goes over the math and things like that. But I think she's thinking about putting him back in school just because of the socialization part of it. He has cousins and stuff that he hangs out with, but the pandemic has definitely forced everybody to not socialize as much. Yeah. And then he still plays with the neighbors and stuff like that, but she actually homeschools them.
God bless her.
Yeah, but she can't, I think she only does like a max of like 3 to 4 hours, which I think honestly, most teachers would probably agree that the max amount of time that kids, bless you, that kids probably actually need,
son of
bless
a gun.
you,
thank you,
bless you, that kids can probably get their work done is probably in a 4-hour span of time. But the education system has become this glorified babysitting situation, unfortunately.
Imagine if the government paid you to stay home and teach your kids.
Absolutely, I'd do it.
I would do it
in a heartbeat.
If they paid me what they pay teachers, I'd be like, I'll go to work.
Pretty much. Hell yeah. You couldn't pay me enough to be a teacher. I'm already being a clinical instructor is one thing, but being an actual teacher stuck at a school for 8 hours, fuck no. It's like being a nurse. Being a teacher is like being a nurse. You're wiping asses and getting understaffed, underpaid, punched,
you're dealing with
out.
Other people. Like other people made this mess for you, turned this person into what they are, and your job is to try to clean it up.
Exactly. Yeah. No, hell no.
That's why they keep asking me to take a student at work. Absolutely not.
The students do your work. Just do it.
I know, but I will get so frustrated.
Why?
Because I've just seen really crappy students lately.
No, that's true. Well, they're virtual. So that's part of the problem.
I know. I'm like, what have you learned in the last year? Nothing.
I've learned that we're going downhill.
Yeah.
Well, speaking on the back to the collapse of the education system, I tell you what's not collapsing. Abbott Elementary. I know we are Abbott Elementary stan podcast.
I love anything she does.
Love her. She
so
is
good.
amazing.
That show's so good.
So I was watching, I actually didn't watch the show. I saw a clip because as I was scrolling on social media. Anyway, so did you realize that Abbott Elementary, she actually named that after her 6th grade teacher, who happens to be who? A Black woman.
We love Black women and Black teachers.
Absolutely.
That's so cute.
Yes. And so she went on Jimmy Kimmel.
She has lived a life, that woman.
She is. And so she went on Jimmy Kimmel this past week, and Jimmy Kimmel actually surprised her with Miss Abbott, who I guess she hadn't seen since the 6th grade, but she said she had been in contact with her like a couple months ago, a couple years ago, something like that. And she just bawled crying. Aww. Like she was, and there was like a little picture of her and Miss Abbott when she was in the 6th grade. And oh my God, it was so cute. But she just like bawled her eyes out. Like, I mean, the fact that this woman made such an impact on you. This is why teachers are so important and they're so vital to society.
They should get paid.
And they should get paid. You will never convince me that LeBron James making $300, $500, $1 trillion for dribbling a piece of leather is appropriate. I don't care how good you are at basketball. When has basketball ever saved a life? And I love LeBron James. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of his.
LeBron James. I'm trying to think. Basketball saved a life. Basketball saved a life.
If anything, it's kept physical therapists in business. I mean, you know.
Can you imagine if one of your old students made a show about their time in the hospital and about you?
I think I'd be like, can I come on as a consultant?
My ego would be,
hell yeah. I'd be like, you know that show? It's about me.
Have you guys ever seen?
Unless it was like, I had the shittiest CI.
Right.
She made me wear a dashiki.
Sitting off in a corner. God, I forgot about that. For Black History Month.
Yo, was it last year? Yeah, last year for Black History Month, I had a student, right? White presenting, and he is half white, half black.
Typically the whitest man I've ever seen in my life.
But his mother is black, his father is white. And so
his mama is blacker than I am.
Yes, she is. She is way more melanin. And so I think it was his last week of class, his last week with me. In the ICU or just for his clinical rotation, and I bought him a dashiki scrub cap, and I was like, "Oh no, you're gonna represent your black side before you leave up out of here." So we walked on. I got him the cap, and we both walked on the unit with these dashiki scrub caps, playing African beats, coming onto the ICU. People were like, "What the fuck?" Like, he's white. I'm like, "No, he's not. He's black. His mama's black."
That's why you can't judge a book by its cover.
It's very true because you never know who's actually black and who's not. But yeah, that was pretty funny.
I had this conversation with one of my friends earlier in the week. So it's about being labeled a person of color because she asked me, do you consider me a person of color? She is phenotypically white. Like she looks white, but she is Latina. Right. Okay. And I know that because I've known her forever. And like also growing up in San Antonio, I think everyone's Hispanic because
pretty much it's San Antonio.
If you're not, you grew up thinking you were or you're just inducted. But
you're inducted into the Hispanic culture.
So she was saying like, do I identify, like, does she identify herself as a person of color? Because she's like, I don't consider myself necessarily a person of color, but I am a person.
So who's Hispanic in her, for her parents?
Yes.
Both of them are?
Both of them are.
Wow. She just looks white.
They're just wet. They're wet. They're light-skinned people.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I was like, I don't think that I know that you are a person of color, right? A light pale person of color. Yeah. I was like, I don't think that I would charge into the panel of Hispanic dark-skinned people of color and necessarily identify with their issues. But then I was thinking like, how do the lightest people feel? You know what I mean? Like your student who looks white, but he definitely is black.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important to, no matter what you phenotypically look like, if your parents are, let's say you have one white parent, one black parent, like you still are able to discuss the issues of both races. Like, you definitely have a valid opinion about both sides. Just like the fact that even though she's Hispanic, both her parents are Hispanic and she's phenotypically white or white passing Hispanic, she still can identify. And obviously she may have a more difficult time being able to be validated because she looks white. But then when she tells people, oh, no, bitch, I'm Hispanic. like, these are my parents. And even for him, because we were just like, Ryan, if you could be, oh, damn it, I didn't mean to say his name, but
We'll edit that.
I'll edit that out.
She
Sorry.
said Brian.
I said, Rohel. That's even worse. God damn it.
Nick.
His name's John.
John.
Yeah. So, but we were just like, if you could be anything in life, be black. And he was like, actually, funny story. And he literally showed us a picture of his mom. But I think that I think people's opinions and people's stories, especially when you are a person of color, doesn't matter from what side, if you're half or mixed or whatever, I think that you still have a valid point and a valid, experience as well too as that person. Plus you have a different side that you can kind of float into, because I'm quite sure my student, probably ran into people who talk shit about black people, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna let you talk all this shit, and then I'm gonna, throw it on you that, no, I'm actually black, so don't do that.
Yeah.
So
I agree 100%. So then I was thinking like, oh, that's put on us as a like receiver of any of that information to be more open-minded in that aspect. But then I was like, but does it make it more difficult for like darker skinned people who have a very different experience socially? Does that make it harder for them to accept that information? Because they're like, bitch is not the same.
I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know.
Because that's what it is for me. Like, I think you should be able to identify however you want and be able to share your experience. But do you have the right, but do you have the responsibility to be more sensitive to the fact that you do not, even though you identify the same and you may have the same upbringing, you have the responsibility to know that you do not have the same experience as people who look a certain way, which that's like the hard part.
Yeah, but I think also too, even so for example, for you, your mom's white, your dad's black, and you even growing up as a white woman, you still are black and you still are learning, as we all are, even at, for the fact that I have two black parents, I'm still learning about my black history and owning my own blackness and coming into my blackness and all that kind of stuff. I've obviously lived in blackness much longer than you have, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that just because, I'm darker than you, that means that invalidates you or you invalidate me. You know what I mean? But I think also too, you do have a responsibility to understand that there is a real issue when it comes to colorism in the community that you're in. So like, for example, I think Southeast Asians go through this as well too, because Southeast Asians, they can present black, African-American looking pretty much. And so I think that there's colorism, all the way around on all spectrums, but I think it is your responsibility to learn about it. But I don't think it's my responsibility to harp on you if you don't know either, especially if you're coming with a willing heart to say, listen, I am not aware that this is really an issue, so can you help educate me? But if you just come with ignorance without trying to be educated, then that becomes a problem.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we're just all going to be open and
absolutely
understanding of each other.
But it doesn't invalidate your blackness though. Just because I can't help that I'm darker than you, no more than you can help that you're lighter than me. Yeah. So that doesn't invalidate you because you are lighter skinned. But like you said, there is an experience that darker skinned women will have. Here's the thing. We will all have the same experience as black people. Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
They hate us. Okay. That's just very easy.
It's not for us.
Exactly. But at the same time, within our own community, we do have a responsibility to be sensitive to understand that darker skinned women will have a different experience than lighter skinned women, and to not perpetuate those experiences within our community. Right. So, yeah. But it's still very valid.
Okay, well, that's my offhanded topic.
Oh. No, I think that's...
And that's on Black History Month.
That's right. Get educated. Boom, boom, boom. So
I don't know.
Speaking about races of people, you were telling me something about our Native American brothers and sisters.
Yo,
what's going on with them?
So, really into Native American peoples in general right now.
Yes.
Thank you, Yellowstone, which just like.
So wait, are you Native American at all from your 23?
No, of all actually, I am like a point of a percent of all the cool things I could have been. It's not that one. That would have been cherry on top.
Oh my god!
But it just so in high school we had to go to a Native American reservation and it shows you life there. But like in Yellowstone, it just shows you how horrible these reservations can be, and just how like. We gave them these plots of land and we're like, okay, now you're good, right? And then just... Because
they gave them no boots. They gave them the land with no boots and say, put yourself up your body.
So I'm just really open to what's going on. Not all of it, but, And so the nation of Cherokee, I believe. Is that what I said earlier?
I think that's what you said.
Cherokee Nation, they just sued a bunch of pharmaceutical companies, Johnson & Johnson, Walmart, basically saying that at the height of the opioid crisis, like 1/3 of opioid production was going straight to Native American tribes. And that there was all this sketchy shit going on, and that none of these companies were doing anything to stop it. And basically there were Native American people who were shopping for doctors, who were having huge prescriptions filled for opioids, who were having multiple prescriptions filled for the same medications, and that none of these companies did anything because they were profiting so much off of it. But there was just like, so many people who ended up overdosing and dying from opioids. And so they won their lawsuit.
That's a great thing.
Yeah, so they're getting, they didn't win the lawsuit. No, they're getting a settlement.
Oh, okay, how much is the settlement?
I misspoke. It's like $400-something million.
How many people, though?
Probably a shit ton of people.
I was going to say, they're going to probably end up with $20.
Because I think it's a lot of tribes. But all of the companies are maintaining that they did nothing wrong and that da-da-da-da, but settlements speak.
Numbers don't lie. But that's very interesting. And this is all alleged. Here's what I'm thinking. My conspiracy theory, wheels are turning. What if that was a ploy so that the United States of America does not have to pay back Native Americans for stealing their land? Because they get a check every month. They get reparations.
You're saying that.
I'm not saying that nothing.
You're in this alleged conversation.
This is hypothetical.
You are saying that this payout subsedes.
No. That this, like, the opioid crisis was a ploy to potentially kill off
some of
Native
the money
Americans.
that they
Exactly.
Yeah. And so they just look, well, in Yellowstone, they always say.
I like how you keep referring back to Yellowstone.
This is the only point of information I have. They say the reservation is where things go to disappear because no one cares what happens on reservations.
That is very true.
So listen, I don't know. I'm saying that's not a huge win. Obviously, it's extremely sad that this entire community.
But it is a victory at least that it was brought to the light and acknowledged. Well,
basically these people are saying, hey, you guys don't care about us, and we were dying, and you were allowing it to happen, and someone should have looked into it. As soon as opioids became this quote unquote like white crisis,
that's what they wanted to look into it.
Then we started getting, we're keeping people off opioids, and now if you want opioids, you have to go through all these background checks, and there's a system, and we can see what medicines you're getting, and at the hospitals they don't want to prescribe you any opioids. But before that, when we were dying in droves and we were getting, and doctors were just prescribing it to anybody, no one cared.
Right.
And we're already such a small community, and you were killing us off again.
That's why I say it's a conspiracy.
I mean,
that sounds like that's a conspiracy.
I'm not agreeing.
And then my thing is, where are the pharmacists here? Because pharmacists, do you have a responsibility to know when something's not right and to check something?
Don't they take like a oath?
To first do no harm?
Yeah, that one.
I think that's the same oath I took. I didn't recite it, but I held my hand up. Anyway, but
I mean, probably the guy at the Walmart.
CVS.
Yeah, the CVS is just like us. We're like just getting in and getting out, bud.
Very true.
I'm just doing my job.
Because that's why I love nurses so much, because nurses catch so many drug errors, and they're just like, did you mean to prescribe this much? Do what the fuck I said. Well, I'm not giving that patient that much medicine because that's coming back on my license. And at the end of the day, MDs are going to be protected because it takes way longer to produce one of them than to produce anybody else. But I wonder what role the pharmacist played in that too.
That's an interesting take. I don't know.
Yeah, or if they will come for them next, or the entities that distributed the medicine.
Well, there's that. Oh, I needed to watch it. That documentary on Netflix about the pharmacist whose son, I believe, died of an opioid overdose. So then he started looking into it, and he was like, "What the hell is going on?" And it was like during the big opioid crisis.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, opioids have always been an issue. And this is why I think there's such a distrust in the medical field, because doctors are so quick to just, we'll relieve the pain, which pain relief is an amazing thing.
I'm not complaining here.
Exactly. But within context, like, okay, let's find the source of what's going on versus just masking it by getting rid of the pain. So for example, me having back issues and my back going out, I'm like, why the fuck can I stand up? Now, as a physical therapist, I can probably more than likely differentially diagnose myself and figure out what's going on, which I kind of figured that it was that. But then when I went to the urgent care and they gave me the shot in my butt, and it made everything better, and I was like, oh, I can conquer the world. Oh my God. But then I'm like, no. Let me go get an MRI to see exactly what's going on. And then lo and behold, I have a herniated disc, which I already knew. I figured I had it, but thank God I didn't want to keep having medications to then mask the issue.
Right.
So,
and I mean, obviously I've only been working for like 2 years, 2.5 years. So I don't know what it was like before, but now I have so many patients who I guess everyone's just more informed or maybe scared. I'm not sure, but so many more people saying, oh no, I don't want to take the opioids. Oh no, just give me Tylenol. Oh no, I don't want to do this and that. Oh, I don't want to be on that. That I don't know when that started.
I would say it's been around for at least 5 or 6 years of me being in practice. In the last 5 to 6 years, there's been like this awakening or acknowledgement that I don't want the heavy stuff. Like I just want the pain to go away, but don't give me anything too heavy. And it's not necessarily people who have like previous opioid issues or addiction issues.
It's just regular ass people who they seem very, I won't say worried, concerned.
Right.
That they're getting too much of heavy narcotics or opioids or anything like that.
But I think maybe too, a part of that is maybe people think that the narcotics are more expensive. And I'm like, no, it's the same price as the Tylenol.
It's covered.
Same price. Also too, you're telling about Washington football team?
The Washington football team is no longer the Washington football team.
Oh God, what are they?
They're also no longer the racist Redskins.
That's very true.
A lot of wins for Native Americans.
Not enough because they need their land back.
True. Let me not misspeak. The new name, I feel like it's the Commodores, but that's not right.
That's definitely Lionel Richie and them.
Great band. The Washington Commanders. The Commanders.
Did you say the fucking Commodore? I hate you so much.
I was so close. You can't even get mad at that. That was so close.
No, now y'all see what I have to go through. You said the fucking Commodores.
But what if it had been the Commodores? I kind of like that more.
And then they would have been Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie's the best. Everyone's just chill. They don't even want to play.
Oh my
like,
God, that
fine.
is so funny. So the Commanders. Now you're going to make everybody get the fucking Commodores.
Easy like a Sunday morning, baby.
Right.
And it's Sunday football. It's perfect. They should have been the Commodores. They really missed out on that one.
So what is a commander?
Couldn't tell. It's not a Lionel Richie led band.
Is it just going to be like a buffed up dude, like a buffed up puppet with some muscles with a Washington jersey on? Or is it going to be an animal?
Like mascot wise?
Yeah. A commander?
Commander in chief?
I'm sorry. Who made that? Because I think y'all could have been a little bit more creative. Y'all could have came up with an animal or like something.
The Commodores.
What is Washington? What's their state bird? You could have came up with the state bird or something.
I don't know what the mascot is. Does anyone else know?
I mean, it's a commander.
The commander reminds me of, did you ever see Sky High?
No. Okay. Sky High, what, you talking about the parody movie with Method Man?
Oh, General Custer is their new... General Custer? Isn't he from...
Is he a racist?
No, I thought he was from Clue. Is that not right?
Clue?
Who's the guy?
Oh, General Custard is from Clue. Yes, the game Clue. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're all over the place. We don't fucking know. That can't. What?
I don't know. That could have been a joke. But Sky High, the main superhero, his name is the Commander. That's all I can think of. Anyway, I'm just here to tell you that they're no longer the Washington football team.
They're the Commanders.
They are the Commodores.
AKA the Commodores. Lionel Richie's the new
I'm just here to spread the good news. Here to keep you informed.
That's news. Wow. All right. Well, also in the news, speaking of commanding, our commander in chief, Joe Biden.
What do you want to tell Joe Biden right now?
Take me out to dinner.
That will never get old.
No, it won't. Definitely not. Joe Biden. So he has been getting a lot of flack in the news by racists, obviously, because nobody else is complaining. So he is going to appoint a nominee for the Supreme Court because the old white guy that's on there, he's retiring. I can't remember his name. Anyway, but he's an older white guy. And I'm saying his race for a specific reason because of the nominee. So anyway, Joe Biden kind of ran his campaign with the intent of putting black people, where we should be and giving us more opportunity and all that kind of stuff. Allegedly, he really hasn't made good on it. I'm just saying that for the protection of the podcast. Anyway, so he vowed to pick that his Supreme Court pick would be a black woman. So there are 3 different women that are in the running right now. And he's getting kind of flack from the other side, saying that why it has to be a black woman and black women aren't qualified and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm just like, personally, I feel like the Supreme Court should not just have the amount of people that's on there. I think you should have a representative of every race, honestly, that's representative of America.
Oh,
right?
like it should be
and
what
but
do they
female
call
and
it
male.
when it's like whatever percentage that's how, like, it should be
Equal.
represent extra, like, you know, whatever you were saying. I'm sure you know what you're talking about.
Definitely,
I'm just
absolutely.
gonna shut up.
So Obama, what's his name?
Barack.
No, not Barack. I'm talking about Clinton. Clinton nominated Ruth Bader, right? And so she was on there, white woman. And then Obama nominated the first Hispanic woman Supreme Court justice. And so she's there. Clarence Thomas, bitch ass, ain't been doing shit for years. He a fucking coon. Anyway, exactly. Clarence! He annoying. Anyway, he just need to get off the damn bench. He ain't did shit for black people ever. I don't even think he identifies as black, allegedly. Anyway, so but he's been getting a lot of flack for nominating these three particular women. I'm sorry, not nominating them, but those three women being in the running and saying that black women aren't qualified. And I'm like, do you realize who really runs this country? Like,
black women.
Seriously, like, check out. You better Google us. Stop playing.
I think the issue is a lot of people, when anyone says anything, like, I'm particularly looking at this kind of person, it's like, well, why can't anyone who's qualified to do why can't we just pick the person who's best qualified? Okay, this man has the pick of the entire country. He's just focusing on the black women part, and there's a lot of qualified black women to do that job.
Absolutely. Because nobody ever says anything about when white men and women continue to get picked, or white men specifically continue to get picked. They never say, why can't you just have the one that's more qualified? You really think Kavanaugh was qualified to be on Supreme Court justice?
Black women just have the sauce. They got that little something. They make shit happen, and they do it in a
you never something.
I was just gonna give you your moment.
In a Rihanna mood. Sorry, I cut you off.
They do it with a late ass. I was gonna say weave, but I'm not putting that on anybody.
That's right. We have natural hair.
They do. You don't even have to be laid. They do it with a great hairdo and a bomb outfit.
Thank you. Yes,
we do. They'll read you to filth
professionally.
Like
I had to do this.
And I think that's what America needs.
Absolutely. You need some change up. Because everybody always keeps thinking stereotypically, oh, she's gonna have an attitude and da 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 da. Okay.
I think they're just thinking about the last woman of color we had in power elected by Biden. They're just a little.
Well, the thing is, Kamala showed y'all who the fuck she was when she was a DA. I don't know why we're surprised.
And people were still like, eh.
Why she's, I keep saying this. Kamala is, she is a prosecutor. She's a prosecutor, y'all. Do y'all know what a prosecutor does?
Prosecute.
They prosecute.
She was.
Persecution. Jesus went through persecution. That means hardship.
That's not the same word, but you're very close.
I know. I was rolling with it because
you were. And hey, listen, Commodores, Commanders, I'm not here to talk shit about anyone. All right.
See how instant karma came back on me? I'm just saying. But to prosecute, she's a prosecutor. But y'all,
and she did her job well, a little too well.
And Kamala told y'all who she was before she got there. It was. She said,
"I'm here to do one thing and one thing only, and that's put motherfuckers in prison."
Allegedly.
Hey, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. She was there to put herself first. I think that's one of the biggest things.
She said, "It's the year of me."
Exactly, and it's me season. That's what she's been saying.
Your ass is in prison, and your ass is in prison.
Exactly. So I really don't want to talk about this, but I already know you're gonna bring it up because I think it's comical. Kanye West, what's going on with them? This is your time to show.
Oh man, this has been my Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just gonna put my microphone away.
The Kim and Kanye saga continues. I know you're all so excited. I'm here to fill you in. It has been a busy week for these two.
So what's been going on? Okay,
I'm so glad you asked. First of all, you know how Kanye's dating allegedly this new girl. I really doubt the relationship is real.
She's looking really weird. Like Julia? He's trying to turn her into Julia. You know I never make a fool of you. I feel like he's trying to turn her into something that she's not. Like
he's trying to do what he did to Kim. Shit. Exactly the same thing. This girl who's mildly attractive with a career based kind of on how she's like the sex positive person. Yeah.
She's a model? Okay.
And then just dresses them up like a Barbie doll and makes them quote unquote fashionable and totes her out and takes like pictures with her and introduces her to cool people and gets her following up. I digress. So it's her birthday. He takes her out. They're out on the town doing all this stuff. He buys her and all of her friends Birkin bags, which like
those are expensive, aren't they?
They're like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So meanwhile, Kimmy's at home with North.
He's paying child support.
Sorry. He has more money than Kim? I would assume. No, you don't think?
Mm-mm. She's got more. I feel like she has more brand deals. Because remember at one point he was broke, telling people to donate to him.
Was he broke or was his business broke? I think his business was broke.
I would probably say she has more money.
Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know the numbers off the top of my head. Yeah. I should. You think I would? So Kimmy is at home with Northie and they have a TikTok together. They're always posting, right?
Okay.
So, of course, Kanye goes off. And he posts a screenshot of North's TikTok video, which, like, I don't even know how old she is now. Maybe like 8, 9, 10. She's a little girl. She's cute. She's grown up.
I wouldn't know.
And, he does his all caps. He says, since this is my first divorce, which is shade.
Oh, he put it in all caps, so he's yelling.
In all caps. Since this is my first divorce, I need to know what I should do about my daughter being put on TikTok against my will, question mark.
Oh, my God.
Okay, great. We're all very happy to see it. So then Kim takes to her iOS press release because, God forbid, she let this go.
Right.
And she says, in proper grammar, that was probably checked by 3 people. Kanye's constant attacks on me in interviews and on social media is actually more hurtful than any TikTok North might create. Blah, 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 blah. Divorce is hard enough. Blah, blah, blah. He's doing this and it makes me so sad and the kids can't take it. Da, da, da. I wish we could handle all matters regarding our children privately and hopefully he can finally respond to the 3rd attorney he has had in the last year to resolve any issues.
Petty. I love it.
Both of them back and forth. They deserved each other. To which Kanye screenshots to repost to respond.
Oh, Jesus. Take their phones.
What do you mean by main provider? America saw you try to kidnap my daughter on her birthday by not providing me the address. You put security on me inside of the house to take a test at Chicago's party because you thought I was doing drugs. Tracy Romulus, her... it's not a receptionist. Oh my God. What is it called? Publicist. Thank you. Stop manipulating Kim to be this way, right? Because that's been his thing the whole time. It's like Kim is surrounded by people who are like poisoning her and making her do all these things, yada yada yada.
Wasn't he just begging for her to come home like 2 weeks
remember
ago?
Kimberly, the whole song?
Is that it? Is that what that's the
No, it's not because guess who entered the chat?
Oh Jesus! Don't tell me Lamar Odom.
No.
Okay.
He's shitting the bed over Big Brother.
Allegedly, Jesus Lord.
We can get back to that later. One of my favorite Twitter personalities, Candace Owens, entered the chat.
Oh gee, what does Candace? Okay.
To put in her 2 cents,
ahead.
in which she said, Kim is wrong on this one. Thank you, Candace.
What?
The psychological effects of social media on young girls is real and documented. It's actually Kanye that is trying to protect his daughter in this regard, and Kim is spinning this as a quote-unquote obsession and quote control. There are other creative outlets for kids. Next tweet. There is no 8-year-old in the world that needs social media. Go color. And Kanye, of course, screenshotted that to post to respond. Yelling, thank you, Candace, for being the only noteworthy person to speak on this issue. There are lots of celebrities scared to say something in public, but they'll text me in private to say they're on my side. I will no longer put my hand through a blender to hug my children. My mother took me to Chicago when I was 3 and told my dad if he came to Chicago, he would never see me again. So I bought the house next door. I dream of a world where dads can still be heroes.
Oh my God. He is on a manic episode. So first of all, does Candace Owens have children?
I do not believe so.
Right. So shut up. Number 2, there is always 3 sides to every story.
His, hers, and the truth.
Right. And so no one is negating that little kids should not have a social media. But Kanye West, allegedly, protection of the podcast, has bipolar disorder. And so these type of outbursts, sir, you're a millionaire, billionaire. So for you asking social media what you should do when I know you have a lawyer, because you can go sue everybody else, but somehow you can't figure out how to be a successful co-parent. Like,
this is why celebrities should not run their own Instagram
They
accounts.
should not, because the fact that you're screenshotting stuff back and forth and then surge. Oh, Jesus.
Also,
Lord.
Kim, why are you responding? Also, Candace, stay the fuck out of it.
Candace Owens must be a slow news week.
It's
because
gotta be.
If that's the bane of your conversation about someone else's marriage that you're not in and you don't even have children, shut up. Please shut up.
So I've just been, this is my bread and butter over here.
But you know what I think it does though? I think it helps people to understand no matter how much money you get, you still got the same regular ass problem.
Same problem, and still people acting crazy. You just have more money to do it.
And the thing is, he sounds like a baby mama.
Yes.
Like Kim seems like the man in the relationship and he seems like the woman. What father goes on here, again, who's a billionaire?
He wants fathers to be heroes. Again.
Sir, I think you need to stop going around buying Birkins and shit and go spend time with your child, get a court order or some shit. You're powerful enough to be able to do that and pull that off. So why haven't you done it?
I'm not a therapist or anything, but it feels a lot like your mama up and took you away from your daddy, and you might have wanted to be with your daddy, and now you're not wanting to leave your kids, even though that may be a fine situation for them. So instead of just, I don't know, working something out with your ex-wife where you can be around them in a healthy relationship, you're trying to insert yourself where you're not wanted and it's not appropriate. And I'm not a therapist, and I'd never, ever pretend to be. But you may want to work that out with someone who is.
I don't even think it's that working it out. This is a clear manic episode. Like,
is it the all caps? What gave it away?
Yeah, mania. Mania is all caps.
And
it's
he's just
all
like
caps.
out with Julia Fox, hugging on her half-naked body, doing all this stuff. And not that you can't be out and live your life and still want to be a parent. But I don't know, read the room.
But I will say this in defense of Kanye. This is probably the only time I will ever defend him. In the defense of Kanye as a parent who is co-parenting. I do not have children yet. Okay, so I want to put that in context. I understand his plight because him and Kim are both like mega superstars, right? And people may seek to do them harm through their children. This is one of the reasons why Michael Jackson kept his kids with pillowcases on their fucking heads and shit. I'm not saying that he suffocated his kids. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying he kept them in masks and stuff so people would not see them, because the first thing that they can't get to you, they'll try to get to your kids. And the way that social media is now, it is a totally different beast that has a lot of uncharted territory. And Kim Kardashian, I feel like has already come out and said, when that whole thing happened with Mason Disick, when he was like, hey, she's on live, you might want to, handle that shit and be a parent. And so I do understand his point of view from that he doesn't want his child on social media.
Well, in his defense, allegedly, we still don't know what happened. Remember when she was robbed in Paris and they only knew where she was and what was going on because she was posting about it so much? Mm-hmm. And that's when they decided to stop posting so much on social media. Mm-hmm. And now North is live captioning the house and videoing the house and on TikTok all the time, and he's not there.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know. My dream reality would be that Kanye's actually the sane one, and everyone around him knows if they make him seem crazy, no one will listen. So there's just this big So you think this is a conspiracy? Yeah. I would love that.
But I also think too, children want to be children. Yeah. If she sees her friends on TikTok, or they're talking about, hey, did you see this TikTok? And then she's the only one that can't post. That's also kind of hurtful to her as well too. I'm only assuming as an 8-year-old. We didn't have internet, so I don't.
But I feel like you took that away from all of those kids when you put them on that show.
Absolutely.
Because how many celebrities post their kids and put a picture over their face, and all of their kids' stuff is locked down, and you don't really even know who their kids are.
Absolutely.
But you decided to profit off reality television, and to be more relatable, you needed to show your kids.
But I think too, both of them signed up for that. Even though when the Kardashians first started, Kim was obviously not a mother, but Kanye, even at that point, you could have easily said, no, our family will not be a part of this. But also too, she has contractual obligations. And if the show is going in that direction, and if you're still profiting off of that show and have to show your life, you signed up for it. And Kanye, you signed up for it. Exactly. You signed up for it as well too.
When you married her. And it was broadcast on national television.
You pay, Kanye, come on. You can't renege at this point.
I don't know. I feel like half of me wants to be like, this is just, he's having a time again.
Yeah.
Okay. The other half of me is like, he feels so crazy because everyone's making him seem crazy. And his last shot in the dark is he's like, I just got to post everything, and I just got to screenshot everything and address everything and get out there because someone will see the truth. And really, everyone's just turning it around on him to make him seem crazy. And
I don't think he's crazy. I think he's chemically imbalanced, and he needs to be back on his bipolar medication. Mental health doesn't make you crazy.
Well, I would like to interview Tracy Romulus. So Tracy, give me a call.
Who is Tracy Romulus?
Her publicist. That's poisoning her, allegedly.
Kim has not been poisoned. First of all, I wouldn't deal with him either. All this back and forth he be doing.
I wouldn't deal with either of them.
He's exhausting to me, and I ain't got no access to him.
We were not made to be famous, I don't think.
Who, us? Me and you? Mm-hmm. No.
It's so much. Do you listen to Blind Items at all? Do you read Blind Items?
No.
Man, the shit famous people get up to, it is too much.
Here's the thing. I think I'm too mean to be famous, because people see this podcast and they're like, oh my God, they get along so well. I would love to hang out with Fleming. No, you won't. Because I will cuss your ass out.
Grumpy.
Yeah. Don't let this entertainment board fool you. I don't like people. I don't. And I'm not going to hire no publicist because I said what the fuck I said.
I would have to hire someone just to be like, you can't say that. I know you thought that was a good idea. I need someone to take the phone away, take the mic. I'm the Kanye.
No, see, I'm not going to respond, though.
See, here's the thing. I don't think I would either. I don't know why she responded to that. Because if they don't have material...
Yeah, because you're incriminating
what can
yourself.
They say? Exactly.
And the thing is, too, even with him...
No one ever gotten more trouble from being quiet.
Exactly. And the fact that he keeps posting stuff, I would just sit back and collect the evidence and just be like...
He crazy.
You're going to make yourself look crazy in the public eye by keep doing this, and if she's not responding. But the moment you respond, you give them the power. So stop responding.
Yeah.
Respond with
Unless
your lawyers.
that's what you wanted. You wanted him to respond again.
Exactly.
But anyway, that's my little spiel for the day. Yeah. I'll keep you guys posted. I know everyone's very excited.
Oh, God. What have you been watching?
Oh, okay. I know you haven't watched Archive 81. No. I still don't know if anyone else out there has done it. It is getting real spooky up in that show. I didn't realize it was a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
And had some culty shit.
Wow.
But I cannot stop at this point because I'm so confused, but I need to know what's going to happen. There's things happening and I'm like... Oh. I understand the story, but I don't understand how or why it's happening, and I'm just gripped. But it does get pretty scary, so I can't watch it after the sun has set. So
please don't.
The other day, I had watched a couple episodes of that, and I got too spooked because shit started coming out of the TV. And so I watched this show with Alexandra Daddario called "Can You Keep a Secret," which is just like a cute little rom-com-y. She meets some random person on a plane. She just tells him all of her life secrets because they think the plane is going to crash. And when she know it, when she gets to work the next day, it's the owner of the company.
Wow.
Ugh.
Did they
don't you
fall in
hate
love?
when that happens?
Don't tell me. Don't spoil it for the people. I'm not going to watch it.
They did not fall in love.
Okay, cool. I was going to say, is this like a Lifetime movie or some shit? Or?
Yeah, it was basically a Lifetime movie,
Hallmark.
but it was super cute if you just need something to cleanse your palate after you watch some disturbing shit. And then Euphoria. Oh my God.
I still have not gotten past the first 3 minutes of the first season. Or the first episode. I can't. I don't think I'm ready for that just yet.
I don't know if you are either. At this point, I'm just so invested in each character that I need to see it progress. I need to know what happens to all of them.
Yeah.
They all have these little quirks and they all have these little side stories. And then, like, man, that show is insane.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's what I've been up to. What are you watching?
I actually watched something that I probably shouldn't have watched, but I'm glad that I did. So because it is Black History Month, and I had not seen it because I wasn't mentally in a space to be able to see it because of what I was going through professionally. And so I watched Harriet, the movie with Cynthia Erivo.
Harriet the Spy.
No, definitely not Harriet the Spy. It was about Harriet Tubman. One of the greatest conductors of the Underground Railroad.
Woo, woo.
And so I finally watched it, and Cynthia Erivo, I think I'm saying her name wrong, which is okay. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but anyway, Cynthia Erivo, she played Harriet, and I watched this movie. First of all, I started at midnight.
There's no better time to start a film.
And by the end of the movie, I honestly was bawling my eyes. I couldn't believe how much I cried. I think I just needed to get a really good cry out, but it was so gut wrenching to realize that, first of all, obviously it takes place in the 1800s, right? And or the mid to late 1800s, and the fact that this was during enslaved days and before the Emancipation Proclamation, something like that. Anyway, 18
Abraham Lincoln, 1864
right.
Was that?
No, it was 18
Emancipation Proclamation. This is not a history podcast. It's not why you're here.
It's not. No,
so I don't feel the need to prove my knowledge of historical fact for you.
I'll cut this all out anyway. So. The thing is, I was watching this movie, and to know that Harriet Tubman was in her 20s and 30s when this happened, and her being able to run away to freedom, but saying, I need to go back for my husband.
That's scary.
Scary, right? Because you don't know the way. And she literally ran 100 miles. Like, it took her weeks to get from Maryland to Pennsylvania. On foot, obviously.
That's insane.
And then for, the Civil War to happen and all this other kind of stuff, and for her to go back multiple times and her to be even working for, I think it's called a brigade or whatever in the Civil War. Anyway, but an all black battalion, platoon, whatever, to free over 750 people collectively from that once she got the resources, but by herself over 70 people. Because each time she went back, it was anywhere between like 4 to 10 people.
Wow.
So I'm like, what? 70? Like you literally rescued 70 people. She got her family out. But just to think about how much my ancestors went through, it was like I literally was just bawling, crying, and just saying to my ancestors, like, I am so sorry you went through that. Like,
Horrible
it's
time.
gut wrenching. And I'm just like, you cannot tell me that Black women, we are not the sun. You cannot tell me that.
It's just to think that they were normal people, like you and I are normal people. They were just happened to be born in that time, in that place, in that situation. Oh, I couldn't do it. I don't know what I would do.
And that was even the thing too, because Janelle Monáe was actually in that, which I didn't know she was in the movie.
Where has Janelle Monáe been?
I don't know. I think she's, I don't know. I'm just gonna say that. I don't know. I don't know.
She doesn't know.
Yeah. So she's in the movie, and there's a part where, Harriet comes to Pennsylvania, and she's, now free and has escaped slavery. And she meets Janelle Monáe, and Janelle obviously is like this progressive Black woman. She owns a business, like a house, like a boarding house. And the guard, like the dresses and stuff that she has on, like her skin is untouched, everything. And so she was just like, can you go ahead and take a bath because you smell like you've been like, on a plantation. And she's like, were you born into slavery? And she's like, no, my mother was a free woman. So she was like, well, that's why you got the attitude you got, because you clearly weren't born in this shit. So shut the fuck up. I mean, she said it, not in that way. But it was also talking about people who were born in slavery versus people who were born in the enslaved time and the differences.
You never think about that.
No, you just because you hear the stories of how much they went through. And then even too, like the man had to teach her, like, walk around this place like you are free. Don't walk around like you still a slave with your head down, not looking people in the eye. Don't do that. Like you need to, play the part until we can get you your papers and all that kind of stuff.
And that's a movie?
Yeah.
On Netflix. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's on
Netflix.
No, I watched it on Amazon Prime because I wanted to support the movie, so I paid the little $4 for the rental.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good little tidbit.
Yeah,
Let's watch it on the Amazon Prime.
Absolutely. So I watched it on Amazon Prime to pay the $4 because I didn't see it. I don't know if it came to theaters. I think it did, but I didn't see it in theaters because, like I said, I wasn't ready to watch it. I still haven't even seen.
Ready.
I haven't even seen. What was the movie that Ava DuVernay did with the Central Park Five?
Oh,
I can't watch it.
Let's talk about movies I still cannot watch.
No, I
because
can't watch
I watched the actual documentary, and that was so hard. No. And then I saw clips because he won an Oscar for that, didn't he? One of the guys in there, yes, a supporting role. Mm-hmm. And I saw clips of that, and I was like, I cannot do it. Yeah, no, I still haven't watched it. I heard it's so good. And
When They See Us, I think that's the
When
movie.
They See.
Yeah, I still haven't watched it because even it took me years to watch 12 Years a Slave. When I finally saw that, maybe like 2 years ago, and I always watch these movies around.
It's just
Black History Month. I don't know why I do that, but. And it just made me so enraged, but it also made me very happy to know that this is the stock that Black women come from. Like this is literally in our DNA. And it was just but we tired of being strong. But I could never be as strong as Harriet Tubman was to be able to do that. Because I don't even protest. I'd be like, I'd be at home because I know me. I'll kill you. So I'm not even gonna go out there. I don't.
I think that we all have a strength that you
don't know you
have it until it's tested.
Very true. And even she literally was like, "Give me liberty or give me death," and she jumped off of a fucking bridge. And she was like, and to put it in context, it's insane to know that I would rather die and not be on this earth anymore than to live like this. Mm-hmm. And that was a decision that a lot of Black people made, even through the transatlantic slave, transportation of bringing them, stealing them from Africa and bringing them over to the United States. Some people jumped off the fucking boat. Some of them were pushed, obviously, but some of them voluntarily was like, fuck no, I'm out. Mm-hmm. Like, talk about mass suicide at that point. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking insane. But anyway, off that note, shouts out to Harriet. She's an amazing woman. And the fact that she never got caught. And she lived to be 91 years old.
Whoa, I didn't realize she lived to be 91.
She died in 1913, was it?
Jeez.
I think it was 1913 she died. But she died on her own property in a house that her and her husband purchased with her family by her side.
Have you heard that TikTok audio about it's these Black girls who are just like showing all these, it's like of white men, like attractive white men, and these Black girls are like, these are white men I find attractive, and the audio is like, Rosa Parks did not stand up for you to be weak in the knees.
I can't.
Oh,
all right, so we're gonna go over to the rehab. Anything else we're watching before we go to the Rehab Corner? We gotta wrap this up.
No.
All right, so in the Rehab Corner, There was something, and I didn't show Alyssa this before or tell her about this before because I wanted to get her natural reaction on air. So in the news, or not in the news, but in social media, really, there's been this really big thing that's been going on, right? So this young lady, let me get the little clip out here. So this young lady, her name is Mercedes S. Johnson, and everybody's kind of been going off. Black Twitter ate her ass up. Ooh, sweet Jesus, hate to be you. So she posted on her Facebook account. She says, and this is talking about being offered positions and when you apply and you interview and all that kind of stuff. So she says, I just offered a candidate $85,000 for a job that had a budget of $130,000. I offered her that because that's what she asked for. I personally don't have the bandwidth to give lessons on salary negotiation. Here's the lesson, she puts in caps. Always ask for the salary you want, and she put in parentheses, deserve, no matter how large you think it might be. You never know how much money a company has to work with. # be confident.
This is who got eaten up on.
Yes.
Okay.
And she is a Black woman, so Black History Month works both ways, celebratory and defeat. Anyway, so people was eating her up and was just like, how the fuck dare you? Like, and the candidate, I don't know if the candidate was Black or not, I don't know, but she basically was just saying, people were just saying that if you knew that the budget was for $130,000, why would you then not even consider giving this girl something new? And it could obviously be that this is probably like a young girl or something like that, or didn't know any better or whatever. And she just, refused to do it. So then there was another young lady that tweeted out, her name is Hydro 8 Ho on Twitter or Instagram. Anyway, but she says my niece was offered a tech job, no experience. The panel asked what were her salary requirements. My niece, 23 years old, had no clue and underbidded herself. The Black lady on the panel disconnected the live accidentally, she puts in quotes, called my niece's cell phone and told her what to ask for. This is it.
Yes. Ooh, I just got goosebumps.
Exactly. And so on the backs of Black History Month, when you have people, especially Black people and Black women in positions of power to be able to help the next generation coming up, these are important things to look out for. Like the fact that you said, I don't have the bandwidth to teach people about salary negotiations. I'm quite sure you were there at one point in time and you underbidded yourself, as all of us have done, because what do they teach you? Stay humble. You just want to get your foot in the door and then you can always move your way back up, right? But the fact that you did that and you tweeted about it or Facebook posted about it and people ate your ass up and then you're just like, I knew that I could potentially lose my job by sharing this information.
Then why'd you share it?
But you should have shared it with the young lady. And even if she asked for it, you still have to fax her over or email over her offer package. And you could have been like, well, listen, I know you asked for 85 and I'm not going to tell you the budget, but I think you need to ask for higher, or give her some tips or something. Like, what the hell? You think you were going to get blessed by doing some shit like that? And now your whole life probably ruined because you use your whole goddamn name, Mercedes S. Johnson. Like, what the hell?
I need everyone to stay. Coming from someone who goes on a podcast once a week to talk about her actual job. Stay off of social media. We would never be like, I had this very specific patient who did this very specific thing.
Right. No. And a lot of times too, like, because I've worked at your particular job for a long time, I know what patient you're talking about, especially if they were a patient of mine. You don't even have to tell me their name or nothing. I know by the experience, and these are still experiences to me. You're not telling me extra information about these people and violating HIPAA in any kind of way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is a patient that I had for years or whatever the case may be. But for you to literally put that on there as if to say, oh, I'm trying to, here is the lesson. No, bitch, the lesson was shut the fuck up and stop doing shit like that to people.
When are people gonna learn to stay off the internet?
You really thought you ate? You were just like, oh, let me just help y'all because I don't have that bandwidth. You were trying to
boast about yourself and how you can negotiate these big baller ass salaries and da da da. Don't people know? No, people didn't know, and a lot of people don't have that experience because they just want the job. People need jobs and they're happy to have jobs. I feel like this, like in the last 2 to 3 years, there's been this big, I will say all these TikTok videos being made, especially in the pandemic, that are very, leave your job. get another job, ask for what you deserve, move to where there's more money. Before that, everyone was like, get a job, keep a job.
Well, and two, when it comes to your salary, people will tell, even like these job coaches, they will tell you never put a dollar amount of how much you want. There are some companies that will try to force you to put a dollar amount. You can't just put negotiable. So you can say, you know, you can put something on there, but the fact that you I would be remiss to say that you are in HR. You're clearly an HR representative if you're offering someone a job. The first word of HR is fucking what?
Human,
bitch. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
You are there. I mean, I know you're there for the company, truly, but your job is to be there for the employee, to help the employee, to facilitate that process.
You know who this girl reminds me of? She reminds me of the people at Chipotle. You know how when you ask for extra rice and they don't want to give you extra rice as if it's coming out of their own paycheck? Ma'am, you don't own the company.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Because at first I was thinking, well, yeah, she probably can't give too much, like she'll get in trouble with her job. But then I'm also thinking, like, it's not coming out of your salary.
It's not coming out of your salary. You could have easily said,
even if you met her at 90, 100,
right,
you're still coming out, like, you know what I mean?
130,000 was the budget, and you, ma'am, you are a bitch for doing that shit. I don't have no sympathy for how they tore your ass up.
Stupid for tweeting about it.
Exactly. And you got your whole full government on there.
Let me see her profile picture.
I was gonna say you have to zoom in because I screenshot it. But I'm just like, ma'am, that you wasn't gonna have nobody help you with that. And then even for the other story, I love the other story of the young lady who said that her niece, the story about her niece, the fact that a black woman on this panel saw her and was like, you are underbidding yourself, bitch. Let me help you. And she could, now I would support her if she would have lost her job for, you know, telling this young lady. But I'm just like, you can't do shit like, again, stop being like the Chipotle workers who don't want to get extra rice. Bitch, I said an extra scoop. Give me an extra scoop. It ain't coming out your, I'm not stealing rice from your pantry, Chipotle worker. I'm just asking for an extra scoop of rice.
Watch, you have the one worker who they're like, listen, Jerry, we've told you time and time again, stop giving out extra rice.
The next scoop, bitch, you're gone. You're out of here.
Can I have extra scoop? He's like, I'm not losing my job for you, bitch. I can't.
Listen, they be trying to go over to the beans, bitch. I said an extra scoop. We're not moving to the beans until you give me extra. Just saying. I'll be like, another one. I'll be like DJ Khaled. Another one. Another one. Give me another scoop of rice.
This is my one cheat meal, Jerry. You better not fuck it up.
Exactly. I'm not even eating rice. I haven't eaten rice in a whole damn 2 months. Okay? Put the rice in there. It's like you robbing a bank. Put all the money in the bed.
That is insane.
Yeah. So, people in human resources, don't be assholes like that.
Don't be assholes. And I also feel like people haven't always been so free to talk about salary like they have in the last couple of years.
Yes.
People are openly saying, I work this job, I make this much. Here's how I started making this much. I started at this. I moved to, no, and I've never heard stuff like that.
But before. You know who I blame and applaud? I blame boomers because boomers created this lifestyle, right?
Get a job, stay there for 30 years.
Exactly, no matter what you go through. Mm-hmm. And then Gen Z is like, no. Share, and millennials too. Share your salary because it's important. A lot of these companies try to say, don't talk about salary. Yeah, because they don't want you to know that the person next to you who's doing less work than you actually getting paid more than you. So you take the power back when you actually do share how much you make.
It's not coming out. No one's going to lose money by telling someone else their salary. No. It just makes it more even. And if you're doing your job and you're doing it well, what do you have to be afraid of?
Absolutely. But people are afraid to say, like I know that in even when you're interviewing, you never talk about like, oh, well, what are your salary demands? I'm negotiable. And then and one strategy that I use, honestly, too, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, it just depends. But sometimes I say, well, the market value for this job says that it's about between these ranges. And because of my qualifications, I need to be on the higher end of that range. So if you need an actual dollar amount, here's what that range is. And then you can tell me whether or not your budget is whatever. And then I have the power to walk away if I want to, which I have done. So
it's just a job.
It really is. Fuck these jobs. Fuck all of them.
You about to lose your job.
So I don't know if this young lady, Mercedes S. Johnson, lost her job or not, but seems like she needs to go back through some training because, baby, you don't need to be in human resources. If you're going to act like that, you do not need to be in human resources. And the fact that, again, it's one thing to do it, but it's one thing to come out and talk about. First of all, you shouldn't even do it.
This is what should have been in your little HR group chat with your little HR friends who deal with this all the time. And you guys think it's so funny because you deal with it all day. And how can people not know this shit? That did not need to be on Facebook.
Yeah, because here's the lesson. Oh, I bet you won't do that shit again.
The lesson is compassion and patience. And
pride comes before a fall, lady. Pride comes before a fall. And God humbled you right then and there.
Jeez Louise.
So, sucks for you, ma'am.
But, like, I just feel like if that was my job, I would feel so sad. Like,
I would not. If I knew the budget was... I'm a snitch. Okay, if you haven't heard, if you haven't learned enough, I could never be in a gang. I would snitch on all of y'all. I would be the first one to take a deal.
I know it.
And if somebody underbid themselves and was like, "Well, I only want $85,000," I'm just like, "Bitch, I got $130,000 to give you."
I would be in the Zoom monitor like.
Or I wouldn't even say anything to you. I'd just be like, "All right, so here's your offer for $125,000."
No, so
I only asked for $85,000.
What
Thank
I heard
you.
was
That's a blessing.
115.
Exactly. That's what you said, right?
No. Oh, so 120.
Right.
Okay, we'll settle on 120.
Gotcha. So we'll settle, and they could be like, "What, bitch? Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to help you."
Especially if you're nice, and if you compliment me, bitch, 130. I'm pushing you up.
Listen, that was horrible. Who raised you, Mercedes S. Johnson?
So he's in there.
And I offered her, and because that's what she asked for, ma'am.
We're coming out of a pandemic.
I mean, first of all, if you're starting somebody off at $85,000, this ain't no chicken shit job. That's number one.
It's tech.
That's
It's
tech.
gotta be tech money.
Like, and clearly she didn't know, like, or your candidate, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but still, like, what the hell? Mercedes, listen.
And if it was some crappy person you didn't like who wasn't deserving, you wouldn't have been talking about it like this. I feel like you would have.
I don't have the bandwidth to educate people on.
That's how you know it's a tech job.
But the thing is, you say, I don't have the bandwidth to educate, but then you say, here's the lesson. You walking contradiction, you. Shut the fuck up. I can't stand people who do that. Well, I ain't got the time, but let me give you a tad bit. No. And this is why your ass is in the rehab corner. So I hope you get some rehab, Mercedes, because that one cute. That was not the
Take
the
care of
zhuzh.
yourself.
Seriously. Anything else we need to talk about before we get out of here?
Treat others how you want to be treated. That's why I talk
Absolutely.
mad shit. I hope you do it to me too. Humble me.
Oh, I do every time on this podcast.
Great, perfect. Glad we're on the same page.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Well, like I said, we're going to have some special guests next week. We're going to be talking to a mental health therapist who has a PhD in
It's an
psychology.
intervention for me.
We're also going to be talking to an MD as well, to an internal medicine for Black history. So we're going to be delving into some different things, have some special episodes for y'all.
We're about to dive in.
Okay.
Whoa.
We don't support alleged sexual assaulters on this podcast.
Chris Brown.
He's not. I'm talking about Trey Songz.
He's an okay.
See how you keep bringing up Chris Brown? Chris Brown ain't did nothing to you. See how much people bring up Chris Brown for no reason. We want to talk about Chris Brown.
I will say his name once a day for the rest of my life.
I thought you was a stan of his. That's
I
what
am.
I thought. But you talking trash about that man? You about to be in the same boat as Mercedes S. Johnson. You better cut it out.
That's my man, and I'm still beside him.
You can't talk trash about him at the same time. You can't love him and hate him. Well, yeah, you can. Anyway, neither here nor there.
It worked for Whitney. It'll work for me.
Why you got to bring Whitney Houston? Not on Black History Month. Not on Black History Month.
She is Black history.
She is. She absolutely is. And she was an amazing woman. Anyway,
all that to say, spread love,
spread light,
and don't forget to laugh your face off. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.